Welcome back to another stock market live stream. Take a look at what we've got here today. Today, boys and girls, we have the gondola of coffee cups. You can't make it up. It's literally a gondola. How great is it? Look at this. Gondola. You got the little skis on the side. Who makes this stuff? I don't know, but I buy it. So anyway, welcome back to another stock live stream. Let's go ahead and take a peek at what we got going on in the world. The world of stonks. This morning we did quite a bit of fundamental analysis. Crypto Kobe, thank you so much for saying that. I say this every time I'm here, but me, Kevin membership is hands down the best investment I made this year. After seeing what he offers, I would have paid 10x more. The thing is, people are going to think you're like an employee. I mean, you may as well be at this point. Thank you. No, that's really nice of you to say. Anyway, welcome on in. So, look, this morning, I don't know how to put it. I don't think people are going to believe me, but this morning in the course member live stream, I said, guys, we should be back on the bullish trade towards December 9th. The carry trade bullcrap is over. And dude, we've been like straight freaking up since this morning. I mean, obviously there was a little bit of a hiccup over here, but I mean, this is a fantastic run right here on the Qs. Well above 617, easy hold here. We are, I think we're breaking out on Tesla as well. What we saw earlier is we were breaking, nope, we lost it. Look at that. We briefly broke out of our 433. Thing is, every time Tesla gets above 433, it's so close to all-time highs that it always seems to struggle above this line. So 433, 414, absent catalyst. It's not a surprise that it bobs around here, but still a green day here for it. Great, knocking on the door 30 for SoFi, which is great. Should be seeing Palantir come back. How's Palantir going? Yeah, Palantir's coming back as well. Look at that. Very nice. You've got Palantir trying to V-shape up a little bit again here. You've got, if you're a course member, there was a buy alert that went out this morning, and dude, this is crazy. Oh my gosh. I mean, nobody's gonna believe it. I'm just gonna, hold on. Where was I? So this was the line this morning. Hold on, where was it? On Sim. If we can just like zoom down to it without. Okay. This was my Sim take this morning. I said, and we talked about it in the stream as well. I said on Symbotic, I'm waiting for it to get to 64 again. There's too much post-earnings momentum. It's like all of this bounce above this line has been post-earnings momentum. And folks, look at this. It literally tanked intraday here. So sorry if that was my fault. It's a great company, but it got too expensive. That's crazy. But anyway, let's go look at some news. So let's close some of these old goodies that I have in the way here. Let's go shopping for news. Everybody likes the news. There's nobody that doesn't like the news. So we got our Christmas sweater today. Things are good. Stocks are climbing. Bitcoin's recovering. Putin warns Russia may hit Ukraine allies' ships if attacks last. We're gonna lash out. All right. SEC chief wants to boost IPOs by boosting or easing rules for small firms. Oh, that'd be great. Brig, house hack, public. Dude, we had a great November. Like, we had almost $2 million of new funds flow into house hack in November. And it really, to us, indicates people are really, really excited about what we're doing. And we're really excited too. So really, really fun. All right, nations. I got a ton of emails of people missing the coupon code. Oh no. I guess everybody's emailing McKay. Staff. Where's our button?
Email staff at meetkevin.com.
Man, I love those buttons. Anyway, so top national securities regulators planning to make it easier for small companies to go public by cutting mandatory disclosures and scaling back requirements on the size of the firm. Okay, I mean, I'm a big fan of disclosure. I mean, unless they're like talking about Starbucks, right? It could be possible talking about Sarbanes-Oxley sort of related fees. IPO pipeline, Atkins said in prepared remarks that the New York Stock Exchange revisions would give companies an on-ramp of at least 2 years rather than one to gradually comply with the rules for going public, such as phasing in disclosure requirements and other reports to investors. They're also tweaking what counts as a small business, more changes. I mean, I'm all for companies being public. I think it's great. You know, you disclose and you follow more rules. Auditing is great. You know, it just keeps, I feel like, everything more transparent. I mean, we're at HouseHack, we go through a PCAOB audit, and it's a very intense and expensive audit. But we think it's great for investors to have that, you know, as opposed to just investing in a like empty pool, if you will, or a dark pool. Ooh, even worse. 6-year-old federal program designed to help the smallest American businesses cut debt and get a fresh start has set a record for the number of cases filed. More than 2,200 people and small firms filed bankruptcy this year under subchapter 5 rules, okay, which makes it cheaper and faster to win relief from creditors. Creditors are just breathing down their necks. The high borrowing costs, cautious consumers, and the Trump administration trade war weighing on earnings for the smallest businesses, while owners' optimism is at a 6-month low. Subchapter 5 cases are rising faster than the overall of Chapter 11 bankruptcies, which business and wealthy individuals typically use to restructure. Okay, mom and pop. So subchapter 5 would be like the mom and pop version, huh? Hired membership promoters. See, the irony, John, is I've never paid somebody to go in the chat and like promote my courses. Or like people do that. You know, you could pay like, I think it's like 5 cents a comment. You could get people to like bag on your competitors and promote your stuff. I've never done it. So these are just like legitimate people who are happy. And it makes sense because I think we're providing a really good service. Mind you, we just came out with the new lectures yesterday. That was free for everybody in the membership. Year to date, that was like, I don't know, 4.5 or 5 hours of just pure content. That's great. Year to date through, so if you're a course member, those are live now. Year to date through November, subchapter 5 cases increased more than 8% compared to the same period last year. Okay. Whereas subchapter 11 cases are up about 1%. Subchapter 5 program began in 2020 as a way to let individuals and small businesses with less than $7.5 million in debt avoid the costly delay of using the traditional. Oh, okay. So the debt was reduced last year to $3 million, making it harder for big businesses to qualify. But instead of slowing the growth of the program, the number of filings increased. Oh, that's actually quite interesting. Consumer bankruptcy cases typically filed under Chapter 13 are also up. Wow, up nearly 5%. Yeah, more bankruptcies. Crazy. That's sad. I saw an OpenAI piece as well. Let me see this. OpenAI red alert. Let's see here. I bought Meet Kevin membership over a year ago. Definitely added value. Oh, thank you for saying that. Okay, OpenAI. Yeah, here it is. Verge. Google's own Code Red response. OpenAI declares Code Red as Google catches up in AI race. Okay. So the tides are turning in the AI race and the pressure is getting to OpenAI. Sam Altman reportedly declared Code Red on Monday, urging staff to improve its flagship product, GPT, an indicator that the startup's once unsaleable lead is eroding. I mean, I hate to say it, but like I've I canceled my $200 a month GPT subscription, and I just used the Gemini Pro that comes with Google Workspace. I guess I see Intel is moving. Hold on, I'm gonna look at Intel here really quickly. Intel, wow, look at Intel. Oh man, right off this line, 40.33. And now up at 43. Look at that. That's a nice little surge there. Back to recent all-time high lines. That's a big line for them. Okay. All right. As much as I disagree with Meet Kevin 25% of the time, that's almost like a nice way to say it. I disagree with you 25% of the time, but I'll have you know I do. I keep coming back to his channel as well as his alpha. Thank you. Thanks for keeping up the great work. May throw a large bone to the house hack. Oh, that's all. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's what's remarkable, just to mention, and I use this as a way to talk about like these AI products as well, is the money that we spent on research and development for artificial intelligence and chips has already been more than covered in 1 week of us selling the Reinvest AI product, which is insane. So like we are now making money on AI already at House Hack, which is crazy. Anyway, OpenAI chief executive Sam Altman told employees Monday that the company was declaring a code red effort to improve the quality of GPT, delaying other products as a result. Okay. Gemini Pro comes with Google Workspace. I have Workspace and didn't know Pro is included. Yeah, there are, let me see what Workspace we have really quick. I'll tell you the subscription. But yeah, Google Workspace is great. Like if you have a custom domain, right, and you want to have like the @meetkevin.com, or @househack.com email or whatever, you usually set that up through Google Workspace. And if I go, they always actually kind of make it hard to find out where the subscription is. Oh, there it is. Oh no, it's right there. Duh. Okay, so we have licenses. We are, let me view invoice. We are enterprise standard. And so enterprise costs us per seat divided by $27 a month. So it costs us $27 a month per seat to have enterprise standard, and that comes with the Pro. But I don't think you need to go that high. And then there's also Enterprise Plus, which is $35 a month. I don't know what the point of that is. But it's actually very interesting. Like if you're a Google investor, like you should kind of pay attention to this stuff. Compare business. So you could go to business. I don't know how much they charge for this, but like if I look at enterprise, for example, they have enterprise and enterprise plus. It looks like plus is more third-party integrations, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, here, Gemini app with enterprise grade protections. Let me see what else. Compare Gemini app offerings. Gemini AI security protections. There's just so much freaking crap here. It's crazy. Reporting. Gemini features. Gmail, Google Chat, Google Meet, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Vids. Gemini app. Oh, here it is. Okay, so any Genterprise gives you 100 prompts a day of Gemini Pro. It gives you 1 million on the context window. I have not run out of the context window yet. Deep research, 20 reports a day on Pro 3. Video generation, 3 videos a day. I mean, honestly, I never even use the video generation. I use the photo generation. That's pretty great. Oh, great, by the way, like, use if you're a contractor or somebody who's, like, using, what am I trying to say? Let me just pull it up really quick. Can I find it here? Whatever. Anyway, I was trying to imagine what like a garden would look like if I put in these certain lights. And so I took a picture of it and then I asked Gemini to put the lights in. It did a bang up job. I'm like, oh my God. Like that sort of kills the need for like designing software to mock something up because it's so good. I'm like, wow. And then I'm like, change the color a little. It's phenomenal. It's gotten so good. But anyway, Altman said OpenAI, sorry, I'm shilling Gemini. I don't own Google stock. And I started shilling Gemini about 2 weeks before everybody got really excited about Gemini 3 because I was really happy with 2.5. Altman said OpenAI has more work to do in the everyday experience. Personalization for users. Company-wide memo is the most decisive indicator yet of pressure OpenAI is facing from competitors. Of particular concern is Google. Yeah. Gemini user base has been climbing since the August release of their image generator, Nano Banana. Yeah. Google said monthly active users grew from 450 mil in July to 650 mil in October. I'm one of those people. I didn't use them before July. OpenAI is also facing pressure from Anthropic. Rarely use them. Oh, that's a good idea. Good suggestion there. Integrate that into the Reinvest app so users can see basically our AI recommended products visualized. See, that's a great idea because that's part of our AI is like, hey, here's a bathroom, Kevin. What should I remodel? Okay, well, Kevin's AI brain, my training is like, here's what you should consider doing. But, I could tell you that, or I guess you could use like Gemini image generation to show it to you. That's actually a good idea. That's clutch. I like that. I think our AI is going to be clutch for renovations because I want to finally anchor renovations in net worth, and we're doing it. So it's gonna be fun. That's gonna be great for house hack. OpenAI committed to hundreds of billions of dollars in future data center investments. Concerns about the timeline of turning those into revenues have sent tremors into the stock market. Yeah, and then Sarah Fryer, they talked about sort of the backstop for the company, right? Pushing back on other initiatives such as advertising. Interesting. AI agents for health and shopping. Oh! They're going to delay AI agents for health and shopping? Course members know what that's bullish for. We just talked about that this morning. So you mean less competition? Okay. Let's see here. Personal assistant called Polls encouraged temporary team transfers and said the company would have a daily call for those responsible for GPT. Wow, they are freaking out. They are shaking in their boots. Wow. Amazon, Adobe, and Co. deepening their collaboration. New business models. Okay. NVIDIA and AWS to expand full stack partnership. Amazon announces updates to AI models. Amazon rushes out latest AI chip to take on NVIDIA and Google. New chips are more cost effective. So are they pitching that they're using Intel? Is that why Intel's moving? Let me see here. Amazon, Intel. Well, this was announced previously. Hold on a sec. Let me do this. All right. If I don't write this all down, I'm gonna lose my mind. AI news. Okay. Amazon. All right. So this is from September 24, mind you. This is an old piece, but I want to see this here. So remember, in September 2024, Amazon announced they'd partner with Intel on custom chips, and this would be the such as AI fabric chip on Intel 18A, and a Xeon 6 on Intel 3. Okay, so that's what they announced here. And that was the Amazon Intel announcement then. Okay. And now... let me see here. Now what we're seeing is the OpenAI Code Red to compete with Google, 450 million to 650 million users since July, I think that was. Since July to October. And then they are pulling people off of Pulse, AI agents for shopping and health, and ads to focus on improving GPT. Sounds like panic, because that's the core thing that gets people in the door, right? Mind you, we analyzed Google admin workspace and found that we get Gemini Pro included in our Gmail for $27 a month. You know, it's probably even less if you're business, probably even less if business plan, right? So that's kind of cool. Like, I think Google admin's a really good setup. Okay, so, but this Amazon news, Amazon's custom chips pose another threat to Amazon and Adobe working on AI agent. That's the next big frontier, right? Collab. Then we've got, where was the chip thing? New, more cost-effective chips than NVIDIA. Okay. Being rushed. Okay. So let me see if the Wall Street Journal has like a live blog on this or something, or is somebody live blogging this event? NVIDIA live blog. Oh, not NVIDIA, it's the Amazon event. Amazon News live blog. I feel like The Verge should be doing this. Let me see if they are. No, that's dumb. Okay, fine. What about, let me go into Bitcoin. Bro, what the hell? Amazon. So, there it is. Okay. Oh, Robbie's covering it. Did Robbie get taken off of Disney? Robbie's been to my house before. The reporter here. He's a good guy. He was very confused why I drive around my neighborhood with a go-kart. Company will start selling its Tranium 3. Okay, so I call them the trannies. Tranium 3. When? Okay, it says here, Amazon public launch. Okay. Public launch of Tranium 3 chip, 4x as fast as previous. Okay. With costs up to 50% lower. Okay. Yeah, I've put so many miles on those go-karts, I've had to replace the tires because the tires have worn out and torn, shredded. Chips are meant to be a stronger backbone, that's fine. NVIDIA processor, competitors, dozens of programmers, AI researchers have been trying for months to train an AI VidGen application known as Lucy that would be able to render real-time footage. Okay. Descartes got access to Tranium 3. The company was 2 weeks into marathon coding session. The moment that worked, I saw 4 people just start jumping up and down. The next question is, how fast can we get it to market? Right. Well, that's always the issue. Tranium 3 is a broadside against NVIDIA. Meta to buy Google TPUs. Shift to new chip suppliers doesn't mean that AI firms are giving up on NVIDIA firms. In fact, many of the biggest buyers are also NVIDIA customers. Right, it's just another option. Okay. All right, cool. So that's interesting. And then we have the OpenAI news that we're looking at right here. Nick Turley said on X, OpenAI's head of GPT. Okay. Said on X, the company was now focused on growing its chatbot while making it feel even more intuitive and personal. Okay. OpenAI isn't profitable, we know that. The company's also spending more aggressively than its main rival, Anthropic, and will need to grow its revenue to roughly $200 billion to turn a profit in 2030. Right. Good luck. So it needs to go from 13 bill in rev to 200 bill by 2030 to go profitable. Okay, internal menu, it said its new reasoning model. In an internal memo, he said a new reasoning model that OpenAI is planning to release next week is ahead of Google's latest Gemini model. Okay, so they're trying to, I mean, this is like I feel like it's like tug of war with Google, right? New reasoning model coming next week, supposedly. Information reported earlier, some of the contents of it. Okay, well, we'll jump on over there and let's look at the info. So the info says, well, they got a piece on Google's chips. Here's the code red, delaying the ad effort. OpenAI developing garlic model to counter Google. And then let's look at the Google chip piece too. So what do we have here? This was the code red piece. We're in a critical time for GPT. Okay. Companies publicly acknowledge they're working on selling ads, but it's testing different types of ads. Altman said the code red search to improve GPT meant OpenAI would also delay progress for AI agents and Pulse. Didn't specify what was wrong. But yeah, see, that's also the thing. I don't think they know, what to do. Like, that's actually a really big line right there. Just that they're falling behind on user growth. The problem with that is if you don't really know why you're falling behind and it's just sort of like a fad movement, you could lash out and just totally destroy the company, like freaking out, trying to get more user growth and then get misdirected or blow money that you shouldn't be spending, right? So to me, this sets up the risk of a lash out from Altman and co. And they could end up setting the company back. They don't even know what's wrong, right? Like, I mean, in fairness, like, ask me, right? Kevin, why did you stop using GPT? I don't know. I feel like Gemini is better. Okay. How do you quantify that? And how do you get me back after I left, right? Like that's the hard thing for a customer. Crap, right? That's interesting. Okay, Sarah Fryer alluded to a slowdown in growth. Wasn't clear what metric she was referring to. This will impact their ability to raise more money, significant cash burn. I mean, they could run out of money. It's crazy to think that, but they could run out of money. So the info suggests they could run out of money if they can't keep raising money, essentially, here with this, next funding raise. Code red, Gemini, we saw that. Altman has other key priorities. The nano banana, okay. Blah, blah, blah. OpenAI didn't respond. Yeah. Altman and OpenAI are in two battles. Winning the AI innovation and winning the AI operationalization of enterprise value. What? If one believes the MIT study, 95% failure rate in delivering business value from AI ain't going to cut it. Well, yeah. All right. Very interesting. Okay, so there's the code red. How are these TPUs from Google? Let's take a look at that. And what's garlic? Garlic, the new model. Is this like to fight the vampire? Is their new model garlic? Is this a reference to fighting vampires? Like it's just my guess, right? But apparently it's called garlic. Okay. Garlic, maybe a bigger deal. OpenAI is looking to release the version as soon as possible. Expect to see GPT 5.2 or 5.5. Garlic is a different model from Shallopy, blah, blah, blah. Garlic incorporates bug fixes used in pre-training. Google said they made new leaps in pre-training. Well, that's how you get the world model. Pre-training's critical. All right, so we'll see. Okay, how Google's chips stack up. NVIDIA, but if Google continues down the path of competing with NVIDIA, below we answer some frequently asked questions on TPUs, GPUs stack up. Does the most advanced GPU have better price and performance compared to advanced TPU when customers run these chips in the cloud? That depends. Blah, blah, blah. I think this is just speculation here. Jensen, TPUs. Let's see here. They excel at ML, specifically designed for matrix multiplication. Fine. They don't really give you any kind of like stats or data here. That would be nice. Apple has long used TPUs. Man, if they're using TPUs to train Siri, I don't even want to hear about it. Anyway, okay, great. So look at this 10-2 spread, by the way. Also a little weird. Like, why is the 10-2 spread popping off like this? Probably, we touched on this a little bit in the course live this morning. The 10-2 spread may be rising to 0.58 due to fears of a hawkish cut. So cut in Dece, Dece 10, then hawk for 7 months, right? So it could be a while of hawking that we end up getting. Okay, what else? 2028 possibility. Trump's favorite Democrat. Ooh. All right. Let's see what the Doomers have. We saw the bankruptcy piece. Let's see what else the Doomers have. Doomers. Bitcoin's back over 90. Fed has rarely been so divided. Money markets, top 8. That's cool. Just write that down really quick. Money markets. Now at 8T. Wow. Dell is donating money. Amazon rushes out latest AI chips. Crypto firm tied to Trump sees share price halve in 30 minutes. Is it Alt5 or ABTC? Because they're both scams. Sharp pullback in Bitcoin. American Bitcoin Core, founded by Eric Trump, wiped out more than half of their value in 30 minutes on Tuesday. Are you serious? ABTC, American Bitcoin Core. Oh my god. Yeah. It's yeah. This is just another liquidity play. Just like alts. Alts is at $1.67 now. Oh, 6.7. Wow. Well, my support line is 0 for alts. We're almost there. I've been dumping on this since it was $9. I'm like, this is a fundamental scam. Wow. I mean, I didn't think it would happen this quickly, but that's wild. Okay. Explosion in the stock is linked to the family. U.S. president comes a broader sell-off digital asset market. See, I was just watching briefly. I could only stand listening to a very short amount of it. But Cardone, who doesn't understand Bitcoin at all, which is obvious when you watch his videos, I just briefly looked at his interview here with Eric, and it's been pretty much the whole thing is these guys shilling ABTC to try to get, retail to buy the crap out of it. And now it's tanking. Okay. All right. Let's go see what else we have. OpenAI, Bloomberg. All right. So what happened? Was there anything in particular that happened? The implosion in the stock linked to Trump comes amid a broader sell-off. Investor sentiment is soured around Bitcoin. Blah, blah, blah. American Bitcoin, which was spun out of HUD 8 earlier this year. HUD 8 basically is like, here, yeah, take some of our mining infrastructure. Down 78% from the peak in September. Okay, Donald Trump Jr., who is also a Bitcoin shareholder, American Bitcoin shareholder, suffered WLFI, is down 30% since September, along with Alt 5, which is down 80% from the record high. Yeah. Somebody says Qs are... Oh, wow. Yeah, look at that. What did just happen? Hold on. Let's see what's going on. Gold miners fall on profit booking. Fed rate cut. I don't actually particularly see anything right now. Okay. One sec. Okay. So I'm just trying to see if once I get in here, if the suits are saying anything in particular, because sometimes they do. All right, here we go. So, Treasury curve wants to steepen. Expectations for a dovish 2026 Fed are colliding with a deficit overhang, sticky inflation, global long-term pressure with a hawkish cut. All right. Markets are leaning into an incoming chair who is more comfortable running policy below neutral. Hassett. If the IEEPA tariffs survive, inflation could stay sticky. Okay, I wanna say something wild. Maybe not wild, but I will make the argument, and I've said it for a very long time, but I want to make it crystal clear. The best stimulus you could inject into stocks and the economy right now, kill tariffs. If the Supreme Court does this, and jobs haven't fallen off a cliff yet, so far they're not, mega bullish upgrade. Like, it will just be adding fuel to this crazy fire of euphoria in the stock market, absent crypto. Crypto's obviously not seeing a lot of that euphoria right now. Okay, so 10-year, foreigners, mid-caps. Foreigners seem to be cooling on U.S. stocks. Okay. Flows are negative again. Tariff ruling is the next flashpoint. Yeah, but I don't think we're going to get that ruling until like February. February to May. So, I mean, we'll see, I guess. Okay, cool. All right, so we saw this. All right, what else we got? Amazon rushes out latest chips. We saw this already in the Doomers. We need to be performant. Yeah, who cares? I'm kind of beyond caring about the chip stack personally. Personally, I think the next phase of AI investments, in my opinion, okay, the next phase to me is really, Palantir style companies who are generating actual value for buyers of the product. Hopefully HouseHack can prove that over the next year, but also other players in this space, but also Palantir plays at lower valuations, right? Because the Palantir's valuation's already pretty damn high. Okay, so Reddit is using Nova Forge to build a model capable of assessing whether a post violates its safety rules. Okay, Amazon models, Nova Forge, a new product designed to let sophisticated users grab versions of Amazon's Nova models before their training is complete and customize them with their own data. Oh, that's cool. Cool. Okay, great. So, Doomberg, Journal, FT. Let's see what else is going on here. And then pull. Yeah, yield spread still 5.8. Okay, OpenAI is under pressure. We saw that. We saw the new tools here. Burry calls Tesla ridiculously overvalued. And knocks industry for widely used practice. What practice? Tesla market cap is overvalued. Of diluting shareholders and not buying back the stock. Right. Okay, right, because of the stock comp. It's basically a stock comp piece there. Trump wheels pardons as purest form of power. Well, of course. Donate to me and I'll pardon you. Money buys freedom, baby. AI bubble is a clear downside risk. The OECD warns. Of course. No, let's be clear about the Supreme Court killing the IEEPA tariffs. If the Supreme Court kills tariffs, they won't just kill IEEPA. They'll reiterate that all tariffs require Congress, and Congress isn't going to pass them. So they'll close Trump's other loopholes. That's worth knowing. Like they've already said they're aware that Trump will just try to use other loopholes. AI bubble, key downside risk. So yeah, look at this weird little sell-off here, huh? Sim we expected to go down. I didn't think it would happen all in one day, but I said this is going to go back to 64. So this is expected. This is weird. This suddenness here. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Let's listen to what this is.
Want to have this lawsuit on the record before then, so they have a chance of recouping some of these tariffs that they paid if the Supreme Court rules in their favor. Now, the White House seems to be just punting now to wait to see what the Supreme Court does. And you've seen President Trump on social media relentlessly and talking in public relentlessly about how important he sees this decision. And we just have no idea, Courtney, when this is going to come down. The Supreme Court could act at any time and either strike down all these tariffs or say, yep, in fact, we decided the president does have the legal authority to do that under this statute, which doesn't mention tariffs ever in the statute. But the Trump administration says it gives them the power to do what they've done.
Right.
I've noticed, Damon, one reaction to the Costco news has been, well, what about consumers who pay these tariffs? Where's our refund? And
Right.
I guess that would steer you back to a conversation about $2,000 checks, although we haven't heard much on that front lately.
Yeah, I mean, the question is, how much did Costco raise prices?
Well, also, keep in mind, the $2,000 checks, Trump has made it pretty clear that he expects the tariffs to come between, or the stimulus checks, to come between the middle of next year and late next year. So that sort of implies September of next year. So that's quite a while away. Quite a while away. All right. So let's see. Washington Post. Everywhere chemicals are in our food supply. We already know that. A large body of science has linked phthalates to a variety of conditions, including premature births, infertility, neurodevelopments, ADHD, blah, 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 blah. Well, yeah. I mean, our food is like cancerous these days. Heart disease due to phthalate exposure. Hormones, breast cancer, forever chemicals. Yeah, it makes me want to go eat some more. There are chemicals that in very, very, very small concentrations at certain times in your life will have a profound effect. We cannot go back and rewire the brain. And then it's like, oh yeah, eat more fruits and nuts. But then it's like, oh, that probably all has chemicals too. Impact of children, rubber ducks, dolls. Just everywhere. It's not just the food. It's all the plastics. Man, this is a long piece on phthalates. I don't care to read it all, but anyway. Speaking of which, I actually have some phthalates right here, probably. So remember yesterday when somebody donated $20 to me in the stream, and then I'm like, all right, I'll slut for you. And then we did like this whole analysis, which was really fun. Well, I took that $20 and I bought the McQueen car thing. Is this, no, this is Mac. Sorry, yeah, Mac from the Lightning McQueen movie, Cars. Mac at the race. So Mac showed up, and then also the Baga showed up. We did this yesterday on live stream. It's already here. How crazy. So I'll be playing with those later. All right. Buy now, pay later, boom. What do we got over here? So, okay. For spreading payments, holiday shoppers took a more judicious approach. Underscoring this trend, buy now, pay later, increasingly popular, blah, blah, blah. So far this holiday season, the services have driven $10 billion in spending, a 9% jump from last year. Wow! Cyber Monday was the single largest day for buy now, pay later, a record 1.03 billion. Wow. Wow. Meanwhile, PayPal reported that buy now, pay later transactions increased 23% leading up to Black Friday. Consumers are planning ahead, prioritizing that. Bro, buy now, pay later is not planning. I feel like it's the inverse of planning, but okay. Experts warn it could lead to overspending. You think? Pre-holiday caution. People are being cautious. I don't know about that. We still saw sales go up. In-store sales slumped. Visits to malls fell. Well, that's why I honestly think that shorting Simon Property Group is like the most desirable recession hedge. But I don't like shorting stuff. So, oh, look at the Q's bounce. Cute. But let me go to, let's go to Simon Property Group. So Simon Property Group, this is the week chart on Simon. And the problem is their financials just aren't that bad. So like, as much as I want to dump on them, I can't. And they do pay a dividend of 4.8%. I don't want to bet on malls though. I want to stay away from malls. Target, bro. Oh, back under 90 bucks. And their dividend's also like 4.8, 5.07 right now. I mean, I'd rather invest in an AI company giving me 5%. Like House Hack. Hashtag not a solicitation. Read the offering circular. Every investment comes with risk. All right. So, wow. Ugh. I feel like my eyes are going to cross here. Oh, it's so bright in here today. It's because of the Christmas sweater. Whew. Putin meeting Vitkov and Jared Kushner. Putin. Vladimir Putin. Okay, happy kids. What's this? Happy kids. I've studied over 200 kids. The happiest ones who have parents who do 9 things with them every morning. How about live stream? Self-regulate before you reconnect. Take 60 seconds to check yourself. Okay. Lead with connection, not correction. Before asking, make eye contact, warm smile. You matter more to me in the morning than the morning rush. Your message. Okay. So chill out is basically what they're saying. That's a weird way to write it. Pockets of calm, moments for laughter, check it emotionally, physical touch, screen-free sanctuary, slow down. I mean, a lot. Okay, whatever. Some of these things are so generic. I don't know. Why did I even click on this crap? All right, let's go see what the eco has for us today. Somebody writes Carvana ultimate recession short. Yeah, right. How to spot a bubble bursting. Okay, we'll look at that. Leaf blowers are the latest thing dividing Americans. What? Europe is going on a military spending spree. Lessons from the front. Yeah, have you seen Rheinmetall stock? Crazy. All right, let's go look at the bubble bursting. So what do we have here? Why are leaf blowers pissing people off? Banning the use of petrol-powered garden tools. More than 160 cities now ban them. I'm about to go buy a gas leaf blower. Leaf blower scourge. Offensively loud, toxic tools. Oh, what Karens, dude? You know which one I want? I want the Stihl gas blower. That's what I want. Oh, the backpack one. Oh, man. Oh, if somebody wants to get me something for Christmas, okay? Right here. Oh, man, dude. Oh, it's so, oh, look at that. Oh, look at the fuel tank right here. Oh, and the blower hose. Oh, it's so large. Oh, and it's even got the trigger handle. The trigger handle. Look at that. Look at that trigger. Oh, man. Dude. That's what I want for Christmas. Look at that. Oh, look how much I can blow. Sorry. Okay. We're getting distracted here. All right. Where were we? Okay. How to spot a bubble bursting. I don't know. Ray Dalio. Oh, not Ray Dalio again. Not him again, dude. Oh, I'm so tired of this guy. In the 9th inning of a debt bubble. All right. We're approaching the blow-off phase for the U.S. stock market, said Dalio. Oh, no. Not enough investors are worried. Every cocktail party guest and cab driver just wants to talk about hot stocks and funds. Yeah. All right, eventually NASDAQ, and then it eventually fell. Bloody, 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 bloody. Okay, so how do you spot a bubble? Because traditional measures might not use full high valuations or fairly good at predicting low long-run returns, but useless over the short term. Right. We know this. Fundamental analysis is great for 10-year plays. That's why we do fundamental analysis every day. CAPE valuations high. Investors might therefore have to turn to novel measures. Logic for the bubble. Chart 2, the range of manias. They encompass cryptocurrencies, thematics. ARK. ARK is in the bubble list. Lol. Taking the shine off. Google search interest in the stock market to selected themes. Okay. Searches in Googling do a better job at valuation forecasting. Valuations at forecasting an imminent fall. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, so when you see a spike down in Google searches, so Google Trends. How's Tesla doing that? Trends.google.com. Let's see here. Let's just go like last 12 months. Or you know what? Let's go last 5 years. And let's do Tesla. So, although I wonder how much AI is going to affect these. Because look, Tesla's technically kind of low over here. Could just be time of year. But I don't know. Compare it to like Google stock. And then I'll put Tesla stock on this side. Oh, wow. Tesla stock, Google's, Tesla, let's try NVIDIA. Invest in stocks. That's not so useful. Okay, whatever. What about this one? Bankruptcy. Let's compare that to bankruptcy. Okay, so people are apparently now searching bankruptcy as much as they're searching Google stock and Tesla stock. That's funny. Yeah, look at that. They're like converged. That's actually hilarious. Here, let's get rid of NVIDIA. Oh, but Tesla's skewing the line over here. Wow. That's quite interesting. People are Googling bankruptcy roughly as much. That's bizarre. Okay then. All right, what else do we have? So OpenAI's freaking out. They're losing it. AI chips, Honduran president, Costco sues the Trump admin. Data on self-driving cars is clear. We have to change course. Hopefully this is talking about how good self-driving cars are and how useful the data is. Oh, this is the Waymo data. Yeah, the Waymo data is fantastic for self-driving cars. Really, really good. I mean, way better accident rates and everything. Okay. So the $64,000 question is what happens when he's gone? Who? Is there life for MAGA after Trump? Oh, I like the JD Vance background photo. That's kind of funny. But you get like half or like a quarter of JD Vance over there. That's cute. Hey, okay. Holding a little bit of a bounce here. Trying to. What a mess. Who sold? Who's the a-hole that sold? Freaking paper hander. Tesla lost the lead there as well, huh? Owls at $15. SanDisk Dave. Red Robin's almost under $4. Red Robin. Ethereum's back under 3K. All right. But I mean, you're pretty much right at 3K. All right, let's go back to this. So what do they say? A decade ago, Donald Trump's presidential campaign broke the back of the globalist Chamber of Commerce. Oh man, I'm going to have to go get some more coffee. I'm getting a little tired here. Not enough coffee today, boys and girls. Hold on, let me see this. Dollar premium looks unsustainable as rate anchors shift lower. With policy With policy, data, seasonals, and valuations all heading in the same direction, the balance of risk for the dollar appears tilted lower. Market steadily tilted towards a December rate cut. Softer ISMs, PMIs. Oh yeah, we get services numbers tomorrow and ADP tomorrow. You know, it's possible there could be some nervousness. Oh, Hassett would bring bearishness to the dollar. Yeah, that would make sense. There could be some nervousness going into ADP tomorrow. That's 5:15 a.m. I don't know. Should we live stream it? Maybe we should live stream it. It's kind of a big report. I mean, it's the monthly data, right? So that might make sense. Oh, that's interesting. Some people still joined here. They must be getting. I think McKay's helping them out in the office. But welcome aboard, Paul, Gier, Gregory, Arthur, Sunday, and Wilson. All joined after the midnight. So I don't. I think sometimes people are like, oh, I had a checkout problem or whatever. We do see that. Although that Cloudflare issue seems to be fixed, so whoever shouted that out, thank you. Haven't seen that Cloudflare issue anymore. All right, so what is this? President Vance gears up to campaign. No, email is...
Email staff@meetkevin.com.
Can MAGA movement coalesce around Trump based on the shared hatred for the left continue without Trump? And can Trumpism be institutionalized in a way that can be sustained? I don't think so. I don't think you really have MAGA without Trump. Like, to get, it almost has to be like another Trump that basically Trump himself is promoting. Trump to ease mileage rules in a bid to curb rising car prices. What does that mean? Mileage rules, okay. Maybe like gas tax or something like that. All right. Putin meeting, whatever. Elections to watch. That's next year. Okay. Let's go back to the doomers here. Mom and pop business. Bankruptcies hit record. This was interesting. Oh, did you see the bailout piece? I think that was the Wall Street Journal had a bailout piece. That was interesting. Let me go see if I can get that. It was the SEC. Oh, where was it? New York landlord bailout. Here it is. Editorial board. All right, so Mamdani wants to tighten rent control, but he may have to bail out the city's landlords who are losing money because they're already limited in the rent that they can charge. The Housing Conference, a nonprofit that promotes affordable housing, warns in a new report that landlords will need $1 billion in government aid to avoid default. Oh, I want to see that report. Here, the Housing Conference, and then ballot questions, stay informed. Here we go. Policy reforms required to avoid defaults. They didn't use the word bailout, but I guess that's basically what they meant. Housing Conference released a report today about the alarming share of affordable housing buildings that are in distress and need action to preserve these buildings. More than half are likely experiencing operating deficits where rents do not cover expenses. Wow. Policy interventions to increase revenue and decrease expenses are required to prevent buildings from defaulting on their loans with private banks and the city of New York. Interventions are especially needed if there will be a 4-year rent freeze. Oh, the Mamdani thing. Wow. The Rent Guidelines Board. Okay. They're typically exempt from property taxes, financing is structure, 5% vacancy. However, the last decade, affordable housing has experienced a rent guidelines board increases below 2% on average since the pandemic. Rent collection has been lower. Basically, they haven't been able to catch up with inflation. Operating costs are exceeding income. Large number of nonprofit owners are susceptible to financial risk. A major pillar of Mamdani's campaign is to freeze the rents. 45% of rent-stabilized tenants are rent-burdened. Wow. So, like, the people can't pay the rent, and the building owners can't pay the rent. Freezing rent will help those with average incomes of $60,000. However, it's also creating financial difficulties for the owners. Read the report here. Rental assistance, waiver program, replenishment fund. Here's the report. Executive summary. Buildings can't, owners can't make the repairs, putting tenants at risk. Yikes. And the Journal says publicly financed buildings with rent-restricted units set aside for lower-income tenants. The problem is allowable rent increases in recent years have averaged less than 2%. Right, exactly. Insurance costs are up. Landlords will have to stop repairing leaks or default on loans backed by the city government. So the city government guaranteed some of these loans? Wow. Flagstar required an infusion of capital. Some buildings have sold at more than 50% discounts. Flagstar, credit problems. So this is interesting because it's all related. You know, like you could have a New York apartment building bust at the same time as a private credit disaster. Affordable housing is not affordable. It never is because they don't build. You think housing is expensive now? Just wait until it's free. The only advocates of the government is always the answer could be so idiotic as to presume that more government intrusion is the answer to problems caused by government intrusion in the first place. The comment section of the Wall Street Journal is absolutely hilarious. I love it. Probably one of the best. Okay, how are we doing right now? So, ABTC is still collapsing. I've got the Qs. Okay, rebounding. Okay. Trump says we'll work with, or Lula and Trump will work with Brazil to fight crime. That's cool. Trump reiterates criticism of Powell. Oh, I want to hear that. Let me see what he's saying about Powell. Trump lashing out. Let's go find out.
They're going to be coming down. We'll be announcing somebody probably early next year for the new chairman of the Fed. I talked to Scott about taking the job, but he doesn't want it. You got the greatest job here.
Yes, sir.
Right? He said, no, I want to stay chairman. I want to stay right where we are, Treasury. And I think we're doing really great, aren't we?
We're doing great, sir. It's a great team to be part of.
Yeah, it's amazing. Under my executive order to lower prescription drug prices, which I think is the single biggest thing we've ever done that nobody writes about because you're fake news. I've made unprecedented deals along with Bobby and Oz and all of the people that work on it. A lot of people that you wouldn't even think work on it, but they do.
So it's interesting he just said early next year. It was supposed to be this week.
400%, 500%, 600%, 700%, 800%. Nobody's ever heard of it before because I instituted favored nations and no nation agreed to do it. And then I said to the nations, if you're not going to do it, I'm going to charge you 100% tariff. which is more money than we're talking about. And they said, sir, we'd love to do it. Please, we would be honored to do it. And they agreed that they would go along with the whole thing. Nobody thought you could do it because they felt, number one, you couldn't get the drug companies to do it. So we're paying, as an example, for let's call it the fat drug, FAT, for fat people. Anybody use it at the table? Don't ask. But the fat drug was $135. Think of that. For certain people, $1,300 for certain countries, $1,300 in New York. So in New York, it was $1,300. And in London, it was $135. And a friend of mine called me. He said, what is this? Why is it? He got used.
Sometime early next year. A couple of days ago, the Treasury Secretary was on our air suggesting it might be a little earlier than that.
Yeah, it's
But it
supposed
looks
to be
like
this
it's definitely
week.
going to be an early 26 announcement. Also reiterating his criticism of Jay Powell, saying that they have stopped inflation dead in its tracks by his definition, and that the Fed should be cutting at this point.
Right, absolutely. So we'll see. I guess the president can always change his mind. He said that he's done that before. Maybe we'll get it before year end. But as of right now, just moments ago, you can see that cabinet meeting is ongoing. This is a live picture. The president says he won't.
Yeah, we'll go back to it.
I did. Every country agreed to it because I said, if you're not going to agree to it, that's okay. I'm going to charge you tariffs. And as soon as I said that, they said, we agree. And then we had to be a little tough with the drug companies, but they came along. The bigger problem was the countries. The countries just wouldn't go along with it, but they did. Every country. So we have reduced drug prices by 500, 600, 700, 800, 900%, depending on the drug, depending on the company, depending on all of the different factors involved. Nobody's ever even thought of drug reductions like that, price reductions. And I told you the story that in my first term, I was so proud of myself because I reduced drugs. It was the first time in 28 years that drug prices were reduced. It was 1/4%, 1/4%. And I was so proud of myself. I said, it's the first time in 28 years that drug prices went down over the course of a year, over the course of a presidency. 1 year, 1/4%. I had a news conference. I was so proud. Now I got them down. Not 1/4%. I got them down 400, 500, 600% and more. And the fake news won't write about it.
All right. It's going to be pretty boring if we're only going to talk about drugs here. I might just get off this, but we'll see.
Prescription drugs. It's going to have a huge positive impact because Obamacare is a disaster. I said it years ago and I say it now. And the money should be paid, taken away from the insurance company. Obamacare was made to make the insurance companies rich. Their stocks have gone up 1,000% in a short period of time because the money goes to the insurance company. I want the money to go to the people. Let all the money go to the people and let the people go out and buy their own health care. And I see on television, people are advertising now, we will help you buy health care. We will go out and help you buy. That's becoming like an industry because of what I said. So something's going to happen. It's probably not going to be easy because the Democrats, frankly, they don't want to make a good deal for the people. They just want to make a bad deal for the country. They want to make a bad deal for the Republican Party. But the Republican Party is united. And I will say that what I would like to do is the money doesn't go, trillions of dollars get paid to drug companies. And you still have lousy health care. Obamacare is horrible health care. We want it to go to the people and then let the people go out and buy their own health care. And they'll do great. They'll do great. So we're negotiating that now with the Democrats. Well, congressional Democrats want the largest tax hike in history. I proudly signed the largest tax cuts in American history with the great big beautiful.
I'm gonna watch to see if there's anything else that Trump says, but right now this isn't really going anywhere. But you know, I have headlines, obviously, that, and I'm getting transcripts of what he's saying, so it's kind of boring. Let's instead go through a little bit of a summary of what's going on and what we've covered so far. Nice bounce, by the way, and stability here on the Qs. Remember, we're looking for support on SIM, although we're getting a little bit of a bounce here at 69. We're looking for support at 64 on SIM. And this is a great company, but I've refused to buy it above this line because it's all momentum up here. So just be cautious. I don't like buying after things, have memed. Although we've been very bullish on this company since it was like $18. SMX. Oh, this is that little one. What is the market cap now? 61 million bucks. This one, golly, look at that. Bleed yesterday, meme today. And then I think this was memeing on Friday as well. We were looking at this. Tesla, look at that rejection. At that 433 line again. This is like the third day in a row we've lost that line. Oh, how is MP doing? 61 bucks. Yeah. Oh, yeah, look at it consolidate over here. Volume's tanking too. I still maintain this is a $31 stock. You just like and we called it going to 100 when it was over here in this range. We're like, guys, this is going to go to 100. That's all in the alpha reports. Google's actually flat today. That's interesting. All right. Good. Oh, great. Now Trump talks about refunds on the tariffs. Hold on. Let me go listen to that.
Tax. We've slashed $1 trillion in costly job-killing regulations, saving them. Additionally, we're going to be able to reduce debt. And as time goes by over the next 2, 3, 4 years, those numbers are going to go up. And I believe that at some point in the not-too-distant future, you won't even have income tax to pay. Because the money we're taking in is so great, it's so enormous, that you're not going to have income tax to pay. Whether you get rid of it or just keep it around for fun or have it really low, much lower than it is now, but you won't be paying income tax. We've slashed $1 trillion in costly jobs. I think we'll be bigger than we've ever been in the auto business. That's not going to catch us. We have to be told me that. Next year is projected to be the largest tax refund season ever. And we're going to be giving back refunds out of the tariffs because we've taken in literally trillions of dollars. And we're going to be giving a nice dividend to the people in addition to reducing debt.
All right. Interesting. All right. Well, there you go. This is why you're watching the headlines. Okay, good. So, we'll kind of include this in our little summary here. But, let's just make sure everybody's alive here and then do a little summary. Looking good. Good. Everybody's cooking. Great. All right. Let's cover all this stuff. Good. Great. Awesome. All right, very well. Let's hit some of the goodies here. Okay. Well, Donald Trump just reiterated dividend checks or stimulus checks coming to Americans next year, and it's happening at the same time as it seems like America is going bankrupt at almost every different seam that we could potentially look at. In this segment, we're going to go through multiple of these different seams that are popping, and they're going to cover real estate, business bankruptcies, personal bankruptcies, you name it. It's not looking great right now. Except for in the AI world, although even in the AI world, we've got a code red to talk about. So I don't even know where to start. Let's just get into it. Look at this. Mom and pop bankruptcies have just hit a record. Now you might think, how is this possible when we just crossed $8 trillion in money markets? It's because that money in money markets isn't your money. It's the coffers of like Microsoft and Apple that are putting all these big cash hoards into savings accounts, or Warren Buffett going, we got cash, so if poop hits the fan, doesn't matter to us. But poop actually is starting to hit the fan. Look at this. More than 2,200 people and small firms filed bankruptcy this year so far via Subchapter V or 5 rules. Now, this is for smaller businesses, and what they actually did is they reduced the number of businesses that could qualify for this form of bankruptcy. The Subchapter 5 program began in 2020 as a way to let individuals and small businesses with less than $7.5 million in debt avoid the cost of using the larger restructuring process, like a Chapter 11 bankruptcy or Chapter 13 for personal bankruptcies. You know, Chapter 7's liquidation, right? And the debt limit was actually reduced to $3 million. So they more than halved the limit that you could use this program for, which would mean you would think that the program would shrink, but it's actually up 8%. So they literally said, you know what, we're going to cut the program's eligibility by 60%, and people using the bankruptcy program for their small businesses are up 8% this year. How does that make sense? Crazy. But it's not just that. People are, again, going right back to using BNPL, which I personally wonder is going to lead to this like personal bankruptcy disaster because people are loading up on all this personal debt. And it keeps going. Like this surge of BNPL continues. Look at this. BNPL services have driven a 9% jump through Cyber Monday, with one of the biggest buy now, pay later days ever on Cyber Monday. They're branding this as consumers are just planning ahead. But like, let's be real, that's like industry way of saying we're broke and we need to butter out the payments into payment plans. Buy now, pay later transactions at PayPal, shout out to PayPal, up 23% year over year. Up to Black Friday. That's up to Black Friday. And then, of course, you know, people spend even more money on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Keep in mind, people spend until they lose their jobs. So spending isn't necessarily a sign that people are not struggling. There's so much struggling going on that the Wall Street Journal editorial board is literally talking about a bailout coming to New York City because you have so many businesses or developers that ended up financing loans through, for example, New York Community Bank, now renamed Flagstar, and backstopped by the city of New York, that because of a new housing report out right here from the New York Housing Conference, they actually argue that there's a likelihood we're going to see bankruptcies of developers that are going to need a bailout in New York because unfortunately the expenses, whether it's insurance costs or just the cost to repair buildings in New York, have risen through so much over the last few years of inflation that if now you freeze rent on top of this in New York, you're basically just going to bankrupt developers in New York and you're going to have to bail them out with a $1 billion rescue. But think about how this all ties together. This isn't just, you might be thinking like, Kevin, what do I care about Manhattan? I'm not in Manhattan. Totally reasonable to think that way. But understand how this all ties together. So on one hand, you've got bankruptcy skyrocketing. On the other hand, you've got people relying on buy now, pay later more than ever before. On the other hand, you've got all this stress about private credit. The Tricolor collapse after JP Morgan rug pulls Tricolor, the First Brands collapse, the Renovo home renovations company, the private equity roll-up that went bankrupt. Remember the porta potty company that went bankrupt? I mean, you're seeing it across the board. Automotive weakness and retail sales, a lot of bankruptcies. But it's not just that. The concern is now that it's actually going to spread because just the housing a disaster in Manhattan could end up rolling into a banking crisis at New York Community Bank, now Flagstar, which then affects the entire broader banking system. Now, fortunately, the one thing that's propping everything up right now is artificial intelligence. Of course, the OECD is now warning that an AI bubble is a key downside risk that is basically just the straw that would break the camel's back. Although at this point, AI is probably like the legs of the very camel. Axios is reporting that things could get worse if an AI-driven stock market bubble were to burst. The OECD is citing that weakening employment growth and the price impact of tariffs, as well as the inflation that we've experienced, is going to lower growth and potentially put us near zero growth. And then, of course, that's where we get this code red. Look at this. OpenAI CEO declares code red to combat threats to GPT. And basically, the Wall Street Journal is arguing, along with some of these other websites, that the reason you have this code red happening at OpenAI is not only because Gemini is skyrocketing from 450 million signups in July over to 650 million in October, but Gemini is bankrolled by Google. Google's got all the cash in the world. I mean, we'll go pull it up really quickly so you can see it. But Google's subscription for Gemini is basically just rolled up into Google Workspace. So a lot of people who already have Google Workspace at their business basically get Gemini for free. So why pay for OpenAI? Now, why does this matter? Well, it matters because if OpenAI starts struggling and they start running out of money and they stop getting funding, then the circular investments that OpenAI makes into like Josh Kushner's fund at the Trump family, Thrive, and into NVIDIA, the circular investments, the whole circle slows down. Again, the cash companies like Google, they'll be just fine. Look at Google. Google's got $98 billion, almost $100 billion in cash and marketable securities. Those are current assets. Well, plus their receivables and other current assets are actually at $173 billion. Now, in fairness, they do have current liabilities, sans the deferred revenues over here. They've got about 95 billion in bills, but compare that to their accounts receivable. They've got another clear 50 to 60 billion dollars of cash sitting around. This is the opposite of OpenAI, who's desperately trying to raise their next $100 billion funding round. Okay, well, that's a problem. Not only do you have Sarah Fryer, you remember when OpenAI essentially de facto asked for a government backstop for loans? That's because they need their funding round. I think it was The Information who talked about the 100 billion. You hear it. GPT's performance will impact OpenAI's ability to raise another 100 billion or so to get through the significant cash burn the company is projecting. The company projected this summer, while it burns tens of billions of dollars to develop new technology and power GPT and other products, the chatbot will generate just 10 billion in revenue from subscriptions, hopefully 20 billion next year. But wait a minute, if that growth stops because GPT is eating, or Gemini is eating their lunch, then they might not be able to raise the $100 billion. If they can't raise the $100 billion, now they can't invest anymore in Thrive, or the investment that they've thrown into Thrive is worth less money. Now they can buy fewer NVIDIA chips. Amazon and Google are both competing with their chips, against NVIDIA, obviously. But really what you're doing is you're slowing the circular progression of the entire AI boom. Now, that's not to be bearish on the entire AI stack. I think there are value plays in AI as long as we soft land. We've got a big ADP employment report tomorrow. We'll see, that'll be a monthly report. Last month's ADP employment report showcased about 42,000 jobs, 37,000 of those in the West Coast, mostly large companies. So presumably like the AI Silicon Valley stack. Well, what happens if that ends up slowing down? Well, oopsie doopsies. So you've got a lot of cracks that are really brewing that we have to get through. Not only do you have these cracks at OpenAI, which is really the big sort of puppet for excessive spending without having the money, which, the Wall Street Journal, it's front page of the Wall Street Journal. It's literally the front page of the Financial Times as well. You go to the front page of the Financial Times, it was top story right here. Most read story. Sam Altman declares code red, right? So at the same time as bankruptcies are rising, OpenAI, the AI puppet, is faltering. The OECD is warning about an AI burst or bubble burst to the economy. It makes sense why you've got some nervousness. Now, we have bullishness between now and December 10th, right? Well, probably December 9th. That's because we're pricing in that we're expecting a December rate cut for the Federal Reserve. So we'll get our December rate cut. But what happens after that? Well, we're hoping to get the Kevin Hassett wet blanket announcement and we get a bunch of rate cuts. Donald Trump just delayed that, mind you, to early 2026. He said it might come as soon as this week. Now it's delayed. But we're basically now just hanging our hats on tax cuts, tax refunds, and stimulus, which here's Donald Trump reiterating just that.
Nice dividend to the people, in addition to reducing debt.
Okay, listen to that again. I'll give you a little bit more of it so you can hear the full context of it.
Be smart, but if we're smart, they're not going to be able to catch us. They know that. They told me that. Next year is projected to be the largest tax refund season ever. And we're going to be giving back refunds out of the tariffs because we've taken in literally trillions of dollars.
Remember, Donald Trump is really trying to promote the, oh, look, even CNBC is talking about Code Red right now. Yeah, $1.4 trillion of AI commitments. But dude, you literally have $13 billion of revenue. You don't have the cash pile that Google has. So literally, if OpenAI falters, $1.4 trillion of commitments and forecasts at companies fall apart. Like Google killing GPT collapses the AI bubble. Kind of scary. But anyway, Donald Trump here is setting up for this idea that, hey, Supreme Court, please don't kill my tariffs. I actually think the Supreme Court killing the tariffs would be the best possible thing for the economy. You would juice the economy with a tax cut at Costco, Target, Walmart, grocery, everything gets cheaper if you kill these tariffs. And hopefully you can soft land then, right? The Supreme Court has already said, hey, if we just rule on the IEEPA tariffs, we probably also need to rule on all of the other avenues Donald Trump could utilize tariffs, because obviously people think, this is logical, if they kill the IEEPA tariffs, Trump will just find a different way to tariff. Okay, well, the Supreme Court already realizes that. They're not dumb. And so my suspicion is the Supreme Court, maybe in February or so, will rule and end up saying all tariffs need to be cleared by Congress. And if at that point we haven't fallen off an employment ledge yet, could be bullish. But for now, Trump is talking up his stimmy checks conditioned on tariffs. Downside, if you don't get tariffs removed, you almost certainly won't get a tariff dividend check, stimulus check.
And we're going to be given a nice dividend to the people, in addition to reducing debt. As you know, I inherited a lot of debt, but it's peanuts compared to the kind of numbers we're talking about. So we're going to be making a dividend to the people. And additionally, we're going to be able to reduce debt. And as time goes by over the next 2, 3, 4 years, those numbers are going to go up. And I believe that at some point in the not too distant future, you won't even have income tax to pay. Because
this is totally marketing for tariffs. Do not believe this. Do not get your hope up. But trust me, if this happens, we'll all jump up and down, okay? But it is so unlikely to happen. All this is a marketing for tariffs, so the Supreme Court doesn't take it away. Because then Donald Trump is going to go, well, you know, the Supreme Court took away my tariffs. You know, if it weren't for the Supreme Court, we could have gotten rid of the income tax. This is all pre-manipulation. He's pre-manipulating you to blame the Supreme Court.
the money we're taking in is so great, it's so enormous, that you're not going to have income tax to pay.
Which is total bullshit, by the way. Like, the money that we're taking in from tariffs would barely cover a $2,000 stimulus check to maybe 150 million Americans. You know, that'd be like $300 million. The tariffs basically would cover that one time. Zero income taxes? Come on, man. The math ain't mathing.
Whether you get rid of it or just keep it around for fun or have it really low.
Nobody's keeping it around for fun.
It's lower than it is now, but you won't be paying income tax. We've slashed $1 trillion in costly job-killing regulations, saving Americans an estimated $2,100 for...
It's marketing. And this is how Trump does it, right? Like, this is also, like, that sort of hope is also how he won the election, right? Like, it's really smart. Like, if you're a marketing person, like, you look at the way Trump markets, and it's brilliant because he thinks like 5 steps ahead of how he's going to market himself. So that way, if his opponents do something he doesn't like, he could just blame them. You know, oh, we were going to do all these wonderful things, but the Democrats. Oh, we were going to do all these wonderful things, but the Supreme Court. And all it does is just reiterate support for him, even though he didn't fulfill what, you know, he said he was going to try to do, because he's able to point the finger. It's brilliant marketing, but just know it as that. What's not brilliant marketing is the scam of Alt 5, and ABTS. Let's briefly talk about this. So Alt5 is a stock that I've been dumping on since it was about $9. It's basically a WLFI trading treasury company where they buy Donald Trump's World Liberty Financial Token. And the whole premise is we're going to issue stock to go buy WLFI. It just provides exit liquidity for the Trump family so they can cash out. So Eric Trump and you know, the Trump family, they go do the circuit. They hit Fox News. They hit people who are literal idiots on crypto. They literally know nothing about crypto other than like, hey, I could use this to market my fund. Okay, let me show you the epitome of crypto idiot. Okay, ready for crypto idiot? Wow. Crypto idiot. You watch the video, you were like, wow, this guy is dumb. If this guy can be so successful by running that, you know, his real estate fund and his, you know, conferences or whatever, it should give you the greatest optimism that you too can be great. Because if this guy could do it, you could do it. But this guy knows nothing about crypto and he's getting shilled by these guys to buy the American Bitcoin company or frankly Alt5 because they're doing that circuit. And I mean, look at this. Alt5 since $9 is trending towards my $0 support line because it's a scam. Okay? American seniors are getting ripped off thinking they're getting exposure to some future fintech assets because these people go on Fox News and shill this crap. And the other one is this. The American Bitcoin Corporation, okay? It is down 38% today. It is going full U-turn here. It's a spin-off. Hut 8 basically dumped their server stacks to these people to go mine Bitcoin. And then, you know, the Trump family is like, oh, we'll use this to go get some more liquidity for our bull crap. What a surprise. It's collapsing. Anyway, so be careful. People are good at marketing, but it's not a surprise. You're also getting this. Crypto firm tied to Trump's see share price halve in 30 minutes. Wow. 50% of your money gone in 30 minutes. Great. Co-founded by Eric Trump wiped out more than half of its value in 30 minutes on Tuesday. I mean, now it's only down 38%. So I don't know if that's any kind of like consolation, but it shows you like our economy isn't really strong. It's faux strong. So this Atlanta Fed real GDP thing, I think is a little bit of an illusion right now. And look at this. It's got us at 3.9% for GDP. That's ordinarily really great. But think about it. People are stretching their personal finances with buy now, pay later. They're still clinging onto a job, so paycheck to paycheck spending works. But bankruptcies are rising. Private credit issues are brewing. You've got people talking about bailing out developers in Manhattan because it's gotten so damn expensive to deal with Manhattan's idiotic rent control program. Mind you, when you hear rent control, I just want you to be clear. When you hear rent control, you should think real estate prices up. Okay? The more you do rent control, the more you squeeze prices up because you disincentivize building. It's Econ 101. Well, it's probably Econ 102 because a lot of people haven't taken the class. And I love the comment section here because it's like, you think housing is expensive? Just wait until it's, quote, free. Or like, this is a good one. Only the advocates of government is always the answer could be so idiotic as to presume that more government intrusion is the answer to the problems caused by government intrusion in the first place. Bam! It's a mic drop. It's so good. So we have serious problems in the economy. I pray that somehow OpenAI doesn't take us down. OpenAI alone could be the straw that breaks the entire economy's back. Because all of that $1.4 trillion of spending that they are projecting shows up at all of the other companies going, oh yeah, we're projecting all this growth. Lisa Su at AMD, she projects growth based on OpenAI committing to partner and buy AMD chips to partner with Lisa Su in Q3 of 2026. So she's forecasting year-over-year growth based on those orders. If those orders don't show up because OpenAI goes bankrupt because Google effed them, then AMD's forecasts are wrong. And so maybe it's no surprise that when I go to Google Trends and I compare Tesla stock to Google stock to bankruptcy, people are literally searching the word bankruptcy as much as they are searching Tesla stock and Google stock. Take that for what it's worth. This is It's just a crazy time we're in. And so my play, and I just want to be clear, I'm not saying run away and sell everything, okay? Like, in the short term, I've been very bullish that between now and December 9th, we see green market. You know, this morning in our alpha report, I'm like, guys, the trend's probably going to keep going up today through December 9th, short term up. And I think there are actually good plays that are cheap, where I'm like, look, if we go into recession, whatever, I'm putting money in that I don't care about for the next 10 years. And I'm not in margin, no debt, paid off all my personal debt. My real estate company has no bank debt. You know, we just had an amazing fundraising year. I mean, knock on wood, great. Okay, cool, Kevin. Things are great for you. Right. But my point of this is, first of all, to be grateful. But second of all, to say, there's a reason I'm not sitting here going, boys and girls, YOLO up on debt and margin. And there's a reason I've been saying for the last few months, just be cautious. That's all. And debt is what kills every single time. It's exactly what's killing MicroStrategy, by the way. I cannot wait for MicroStrategy to go bankrupt, because that will be your bottom in Bitcoin. Now, they're bouncing today, especially on this talk about maybe we'll lend Bitcoin. But when they go bankrupt, that will be your bottom in Bitcoin. Okay? Shout out to SoFi, by the way, regains 30. I use SoFi as a personal account. I love it. It's really good. Hashtag not sponsored. And then for a business account, though, I prefer go to meetkevin.com/bank, because it's free. It's kind of like the SoFi of business versions. That's what I'm going to call it. Anyway, that's just a little side note. Shout out to them. Anyway, that's what I got. Thanks for being here, folks.